All right. Good morning. It is great to be with all of you today. My name is Scott Baird. I'm the Executive Director of the Utah Department of Environmental Quality. And truly, I'm just thrilled to be here today for this significant announcement regarding Utah's air quality. We know that air quality is a priority for many of the residents in the state of Utah, and that it impacts our health and our well-being as well as our economic prosperity. As a state, we have been working for decades to address air quality. And although our air quality challenges are complex here in Utah, partially because of our unique geography, but also because of the significant population growth that we have seen in the state, Utah has taken decisive action, resulting in the significant progress that we have to announce today. Now, this is a significant milestone, and it's not without great effort on the part of many individuals and organizations, and I'd like to just name a few as we begin. First off, Bryce Byrd, our Division Director for the Division of Air Quality, and his incredible and devoted team, and the work that they have done for years to get us to where we are today. Also, our many partners, our clean air champions, UCARE, the Utah Clean Air Partnership, Breathe Utah, the Wasatch Front Regional Council, and of course, members of our legislature and the Clean Air Caucus. We need to recognize as well our industry leaders who recognize the great economic opportunity here in the state, as well as the responsibility that they have to adopt clean technologies and controlling their emissions to benefit all of us. And then each individual Utahn that has made the individual choices in purchasing clean vehicles, upgrading their lawn and yard equipments to electric mowers and electric snow blowers, and even turning down your thermostat a few degrees in the wintertime. All of these leading to significant progress. And then, of course, recognizing the leaders that are here with us today. I'm thrilled to be joined today by Governor Gary Herbert, by Senate President Stuart Adams, and Greg Sopkin, our EPA Region 8 Administrator. I'm going to turn the time to Greg Sopkin for just a few moments, whose partnership and the partnership of his incredible team at Region 8 EPA have led to the great success that we've seen here in Utah. So, Greg Sopkin, please.
Thank you, Scott. It's a great day for air quality along the Wasatch Front. We're here to celebrate 3 milestones showing better air quality in Utah. EPA is proposing that large parts of the Wasatch Front be redesignated as attaining air quality standards for PM 2.5, aka fine particulates, which is a harmful pollutant. So we're here for the second reason of recognizing that large parts of the Wasatch Front have already attained air quality standards for PM10, which is also known as coarse particulates, another harmful pollutant. EPA recently approved state of Utah's, number 3, EPA recently approved the state of Utah's regional Haze plan, reducing pollution that impacts the view at national parks. So starting with PM 2.5, what is it? It's fine particulates with a diameter of 2.5 microns or less. So to put that in perspective, this is what a human hair looks like, and PM 2.5 are very small fine particulates. You can only see it with an electron microscope. And we'll talk a little bit also about PM10 coarse particulates, which are a little bigger. The blue shows about the size of PM10. The red is PM 2.5 under an electron microscope. Why is it a harmful pollutant? Because it can get into your lungs and it can affect cardiovascular health. It affects people with asthma, causes coughing, things like that. So it's very important to reduce these. So in 2009, 3 areas, Salt Lake City, Provo, and Logan, violated the PM 2.5 standard of 35 microns per cubic meter of air. Salt Lake City's air, for example, was about 48 microns. This affected the counties of Salt Lake, Davis, and parts of Utah, Weber, Tooele, Box Elder, and Cache counties. And so this set in motion a series of programs and rules to reduce particulate emissions from small and large sources, including wood stoves, refineries, natural gas plants, and mobile sources. It also set up a program for enhanced vehicle emissions testing and repair and wood burning restrictions. The result, it took about a decade, but it worked. The city of Logan attained the standard in 2017, and EPA recognized that then. And in September 2019, the reason why we're here today is EPA determined that Provo and Salt Lake City met the standard for 3 years running. In fact, the particulate emissions were reduced to 30 microns, which is a 37% reduction from 2009, a great achievement. So last Friday, November 6th, EPA published in the Federal Register a proposal to change the Salt Lake City and Provo air quality status to attainment for PM 2.5. We invite stakeholders to submit comments by December 7 in that proceeding. We will consider the comments and issue a final decision. So the second milestone I'd like to talk about, again, is the achievement of PM10, the coarse particulates, also a harmful pollutant for lungs and for cardiovascular health. In February of this year, I was honored to sign the redesignation to attainment for 3 formerly non-attaining areas: Salt Lake County, Utah County, and Ogden City. So this pollution reduction will benefit public health. The third milestone is EPA's approval of Utah's regional Haze plan. Just a couple of weeks ago, EPA approved the state's implementation plan to reduce haze-forming emissions from PacifiCorp's Hunter and Huntington power plants in Emery County. The plan that was submitted by Utah in July of 2019 reduces overall NOx, nitrogen oxide, SOx, sodium dioxide, and PM, particulate matter emissions, by 1,879 tons per year relative to the 2016 plan that it had submitted earlier, and that was rejected. So the new plan submitted in July 2019 was approved. This will help protect visibility in national parks and wilderness areas in Utah and elsewhere. So EPA is proud to be part of this success story, but the lion's share of credit goes to Utah DEQ, Mr. Byrd, and Mr. Byrd, in particular the skill and expertise of the staff at the Division of Air Quality. EPA has contributed and supported some of the programs that have made a difference. Over the past decade, EPA has awarded over $12 million in grants to the Utah DEQ for projects to reduce particulate-forming pollutants. These grants were used to reduce residential wood smoke emissions by changing out uncontrolled wood-burning appliances with gas or propane heating appliances, and to provide rebates to replace diesel trucks and school buses with cleaner ones. And in 2019, EPA awarded $4.7 million in grants, that's part of the $12 million pool, to Utah for projects targeting light-duty passenger vehicles in Salt Lake City. These funds are being used to assist with the repair and replacement of vehicles that have failed emissions testing. So congratulations to Utah for these great accomplishments. I'd like to thank Governor Herbert, our partners at the Utah DEQ, President Adams, and all who have contributed to the recent air quality milestones. One of the persons that it's our honor to have here today is a commissioner from Box Elder County, Stan Summers. Thank you for being with us today. Commissioner Summers was, let's just say, he had my speed dial, and he was not reluctant to use it to say, hey, what about these Utah great air quality successes, and when are we going to have that attainment determination? Well, we're finally here to say we have that. We have proposed that for PM 2.5. So thank you for your involvement and your dedication to this issue, Commissioner Summers, and thank you for being here today. So to conclude, EPA will continue to support the state as we work together to improve air quality for the benefit of Utah's people and community. Thank you.
Thank you, Greg. And truly significant to be in attainment of these federal standards for what it represents for our residents in the state of Utah. Now it is my honor to introduce Governor Gary Herbert, the governor of the great state of Utah. On a personal note, I would just like to mention how great it has been to work with the governor and to see day in and day out his commitment to the residents of Utah around air quality. His commitment is real, and we have seen that over the last several years from his leadership. Not only is he committed to this, but he follows it personally as I think probably the chief primary carpooler in the state, carpooling literally everywhere he goes for over the last decade. Governor Herbert, thank you.
Thank you, Scott. And carpooling are us. I appreciate my detail. It takes me around and helps me get to the assigned places I need to be. As I've had the opportunity to travel around the state, I think we all understand and are concerned about the environment. You know, we love what nature has given to us here in Utah. We've, in fact, said God played favorites. We have a beautiful landscape here in the state of Utah. And I think we all are stewards of this earth, and we should do the best we can to maintain it and keep it pristine. And the pollution aspect of it has been a concern for all of us. I certainly want to thank Scott and Bryce and Stan for the work of many that have come together to help us have this great day where we announce attainment. And that's a significant milestone in our efforts to make sure we have a clean, pristine environment here, air quality issues that we are addressing and having some success. So it really is a red letter day. I think all of us understand that air quality is an important aspect of our lives. We are sometimes reminded of it most especially during inversions. We have gunky air and we think, gee, what are we doing? What can we do? We don't want to have this gunky air. We know it impacts our health. It impacts our ability to develop economically. Certainly our tourism and travel is impacted. People not wanting to come and be involved in an area where we have, in fact, too much smog and inversions and gunky air. I want to thank all those who've been a part of the success which we're announcing here today. We have put into place what I think are common sense regulations that impact all of us, most especially some of those involved in industry. We have our private sector stepped up and is using best available technology, so they in fact manufacture, produce, provide goods and services in a cleaner way. Our public education has been involved in helping people understand the role that they can each play. So this coming together has helped us have some significantly positive outcomes. Let me just mention a couple of them I have written down here. From 2002 to 2017, the past 15 years, our population has grown about 34%. During that same time, our total statewide air emissions have been reduced by 27.3%. So fast population growth, but in spite of that, still reduction in our overall pollution. That's a 45.7%, in fact, reduction per capita of emissions here in the state. Large industries, which again, we always kind of point the finger at them, have reduced air pollution emissions by 12% between 2017 and 2019 alone. That represents about 9,000 fewer tons of particulate, sulfur dioxide, oxides of nitrogen, volatile organic compounds, carbon monoxide, and ammonia, to name just a few of the reductions that have taken place here just in these last 3 years. That trend is even more pronounced along the Wasatch Front, where we have more urbanized areas here where we're a little bit more densely populated. The reduction here of pollutants has decreased by 19% from 2017 to 2019. That's almost 3,000 tons just right here on the Wasatch Front in these last couple of years. So again, I appreciate the work of many and the outcomes that we have been able to produce. I also want to mention when we came into office in 2009 and when I was Lieutenant Governor in 2005, it's always been an issue that we've tried to address. It's not an easy issue, but it's an important issue. And again, we've learned a lot, again, those involved in the science of this thing. We found, in fact, that a large abundance, nearly half of the pollution we see out there on those gunky days, and even days we don't see it, the pollution is coming out of our tailpipes of our automobiles and trucks and cars. And so we've worked very hard to see what we could do to reduce the tailpipe emissions. We've increased in the state of Utah with telecommuting, so we have more of our employees that actually do not get out on the roads and add to the pollution, stay home and do their work from a remote location. That's been a help. We, in fact, have promoted Tier 3 fuels, which we now have available, and that's a choice that we as people can make when you go out to fill up your automobile with gasoline. Pick a Tier 3 fuel gasoline that has less pollution. And again, that's a significant reduction of pollution if we all can engage in that. We put funding together with help of the legislature on replace wood-burning stoves with natural gas. We have 31 new state rules have been passed to help reduce pollution, and those move to a reduction of more than 100 tons of pollution reduction per day. And one of the things that we started that I'm most proud of is mentioned by Scott, our Clean Air Partnerships, Utah Clean Air Partnership, our Clean Air Action Team, our UCare efforts that we've made out there to help remind us all and to bring us together. We all have a role to play and do our part. And as we do that, we've had some significant success. So I certainly want to mention the team effort of all of us working together. We all have roles to play here. We all do a little. In our reductions, we can, in fact, reduce a lot. And we appreciate the cooperation and participation of everybody. So with that, let me just say congratulations. Again, we're honored to have this attainment designation here today, which I guess encourages us for the work. It's nice to see the fruits of your labor and the accomplishments. But I'd remind us all, we're not over. We're not done. We can't rest on our laurels and say this is enough. The effort to continue to have clean air is a continuing effort. In all aspects of our environment, we are stewards of the earth. We have to do our best to make sure that we do not pollute, minimize pollution, and clean up areas that need, in fact, cleaning up. And we appreciate the efforts of so many people. So buy Tier 3 fuel in your automobiles. That's a major step. And we're going to continue to transition. If we dig holes, we're going to fill them up. We're going to make sure that we, in fact, protect the environment as good stewards of the earth. And we certainly appreciate Region 8 and the EPA giving us this attainment designation today. Shows the fruits of our labor are paying off. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Governor, again for your leadership. It is valuable and real. I'd now like to recognize President Adams, who will come and speak to us, Senate President in the state of Utah, who has long recognized the value of air quality and has prioritized common sense policies and helped those policies to get passed in the legislature. So President Adams.
Thank you, Scott and Greg and Governor. This is a great day for the state of Utah. We all know that Utah faces particular challenges because of our geographics, the nature. We live in a bowl. Because of that bowl, we experience inversions, and I think probably everyone here has experienced one of those inversions. And I hope we continue, like we have in the past, this trend for the past 10 years of fewer and fewer red days. I think technology and innovation is the answer, and the legislature's known this, and we've legislated a few things that may help with this. Just last legislative session, we put a three-part piece of legislation together that allows for school districts to convert their buses to CNG. It also allows Utah to band together with other states to make bulk purchases of factory-produced CSG more affordable. It has actually helped with the construction of more natural gas fueling stations, make them available for state fleets, school districts, and commercial vehicles and to consumers. I was very involved in, as the governor mentioned, in legislation that encouraged refineries to produce Tier 3 fuel. That's a great thing. The EPA said there's no other state that could benefit more than Utah from Tier 3 fuel. They estimate that it would be an 80% reduction in emissions. And as has been mentioned over and over again, that's like taking 4 out of 5 vehicles off the road. A big deal, and Tier 3 fuel is now a reality. We've also put in place tax credits for alternative heavy-duty vehicles, and we've got other things in process, and as the governor mentioned, we're not done. We're going to continue to work on air quality, and I think because of that, our future in Utah is extremely bright. We need a great economy, but we need great air quality, and together both of those will help Utah move forward with a healthy economy and a healthy environment. So today is an indication that we're on the right track, and if we stay the course, we can continue to improve Utah's air quality and in turn improve the quality of life for Utah's residents. Thank you.
Thank you, President Adams. Again, I just want to thank the individuals and organizations for the significant effort that has led to where we are today in attaining the federal standards for PM2.5 in both the Salt Lake and Provo areas. While this is a significant achievement, as has been noted, we recognize we are not yet done. There's a lot of work ahead of us, but we take confidence in the fact that we know what we have done is working, and that will motivate us to move forward, that through partnerships, innovation, and clear decision-making, we can move forward as we work towards our next goal of reducing emissions by 25% across the state by 2026. Again, we're confident we can get there through the partnerships that we have made so far to date and look forward to working with all of you to achieve that goal. Thank you for your time today. We'll turn the time over now to any questions that we have from the media, and those of us are here available to answer those questions, as well as Director Byrd from the division. Thank you.
I have a question. This is Amy Joy. Yeah, my question would be to the EPA administrator. What lessons do you think other states struggling with this metropolitan pollution can learn from Utah after this decades-long effort?
Well, I think Utah has enacted a number of measures. We heard about Tier 3 fuels. We've heard about wood burning restrictions, replacement of school buses, heavy-duty trucks, light-duty, as well as the fleet turnover of just passenger vehicles that's inevitably going to occur to more electric vehicles and more fuel-efficient vehicles. The same issue, I'm in Region 8, and that includes Colorado. These same issues are being faced by the state of Colorado as well. And so EPA is doing its part. When it needs to enforce the Clean Air Act rules, it does. And that's exactly what we did with PM 2.5, PM 10, and we will continue to do that for ozone and other issues. And when we do that, we enter into partnerships with the state DEQs. We call them our state partners. They are not our enemies. That we work with them very closely, and we are very confident in their abilities. And this is an example of that with the successes that Utah has had.
Thank you.
Again, we thank everybody. We appreciate the media covering this. Again, this is a significantly important day for us. It's not the end. It's just a new beginning. I'd just like to emphasize the fact that we have the unique challenge that's been mentioned by the President and by Scott. We are one of the fastest growing states in America today. People want to come here. They like the people. They like the environment. They like the business-friendly atmosphere that we have here. There's a lot of reasons why people are coming to Utah from outside our state. And we need to make sure that we continue to work hard to make sure that we stay a welcoming state and that we have opportunities, in fact, to have address the environmental concerns that more and more people coming here will, in fact, present to us. One of the things we've learned is that technology is our friend. We have found better ways to do things. Industry's finding better ways to do things with less pollution. We've talked about the Tier 3 fuels and what we can burn cleaner and reduce the emissions out of our tailpipes, cleaner burning diesel. And so technology is going to help us in many ways as far as we transition and understand the challenge we face in the future. So I'm very optimistic, by the way, with the partnership we've created here addressing environmental concerns here in the state of Utah. And so all of us, though, as Utahns, need to do our part It's not their responsibility, it's our responsibility. And if we do that, we're going to be in great shape. So Scott, you have the last word.
Thank you, Governor. Let's move forward.